We're going to explore how tariff-fueled inflation could raise everyday prices and what it means for your wallet. We're going to talk about the Reserve Bank of Australia and why it might react by hiking interest rates and how it could bump up your mortgage repayments. And we'll look at why building a home could get pricier, making the housing shortage even worse. As bad as that all sounds, the whole point isn't to create fear in this video. I'm really trying to show you some practical ways to navigate the market and try and understand what's happening, how it's going to impact you, and how to get through it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand how something as far off as a tariff in the US can affect your home buying journey in Australia, and more importantly, how to be prepared and even find opportunity in this uncertainty. What would certainly make me appreciative is if you give a bit of a thumbs up on the video and smash that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Tariffs and inflation, why prices are climbing. Let's start with a word on everyone's lips lately: inflation. The general rise in prices of goods and services. Tariffs can act like a bit of a spark to increase and spur inflation. How? When the US slaps a 25% tax on imported steel and 10% on imported aluminium, it makes those metals more expensive for anyone buying them in the US. In turn, international suppliers, including some Australian companies, might try to pass on those costs elsewhere and reduce supply. Even though these tariffs are aimed at the US market, the global prices for these commodities can shift since trade routes and supply chains can get rerouted like a jam in traffic. It's a bit like a domino effect. For Australia, this could mean higher prices on a range of products, not just raw metal. If you think about it, steel and aluminium are everywhere in our economy. They're in the cars we drive, the appliances we use, and crucially, in the houses we build. If those materials get more expensive globally, manufacturers and builders here are going to face higher costs. As Prime Minister Albanese bluntly put it, tariffs and trade tensions are a form of economic self-harm and a recipe for slower growth and higher inflation. They are paid for by consumers. In other words, companies typically pass the extra costs down to us, the consumers, whether it's through more expensive cars, costly appliances, and higher construction costs for our new homes. Using a simple analogy, imagine you're running a bakery and suddenly the price of flour shoots up because of new tax on imported wheat. You have two choices as the baker: absorb the costs and make less profit, or charge a customer more for your bread. In reality, most businesses don't really have a choice and they raise the price at least a bit, otherwise they're not going to survive. Tariffs are like that tax on flour, but for entire industries. So when tariffs make imported goods more expensive, it's often you and I who eventually pay more at the checkout. We're already seeing signs of this kind of pressure. Australian companies that rely on imported materials are warning that they're going to need to hike prices. Everyone's going to start feeling the pinch in their wallet and may even cut back on spending or borrowing.